Arkansas.
Tea Party.
1773.
Movement. Tea Party movement.
Tea Party movement. Trying.
Rachel Maddow.
Embarrassed.
Before we open up for questions, one more thing
All
that
right.
I would be yelled at by my brother, who, if I didn't ask, and two St. Patty's Day ago, you had your inaugural drink on the Rachel Maddow show.
Yeah.
He's a mixologist, or amateur as well. When did that start?
Drinking?
No. The mixing part.
Oh, when did I start being a hobbyist bartender?
Yes.
What do you think? Like 4 or 5 years ago? Maybe a little longer. It wasn't. I actually I wasn't being a bad hobbyist bartender when I started at Air America, because when we moved to New York for that job, we didn't bring any liquor, right? We didn't have a liquor cabinet. It's been about 4 or 5 years. I am a hobbyist bartender, which means that I think of myself as a semi-pro drinker. But also that I am a very, very slow, dissatisfying drink maker for everybody other than myself. Like it's my hobby, so I enjoy every part of it. And if it takes me 45 minutes to make a drink, that's 45 minutes of fun. But anybody who wants to actually drink something that I've made is... Like, really? You're measuring the bitters with an eyedropper, Maddow? It'll be perfect! Can I actually say something before we go to questions?
Of course.
Are you done?
I'm done. I have nothing left.
It was just occurring to me that with health reform so dominant right now, it's like on the anniversary of President Obama's inauguration, it was also the day after Scott Brown had won the election in Massachusetts. So people thought on the anniversary of the election, oh, let's not do our one-year retrospectives on Obama because we'll do that for Inauguration Day. Because he didn't take office in November, he took office in January. We'll save it for January. And then in January, nobody talked about any one-year retrospective stuff either because this other big thing happened. And with health reform happening right now, I just sort of felt like there was one thing just between us that we should note, which is that it was 45 years ago today, on the steps of the state capitol in Alabama, when Dr. Martin Luther King gave the "How long, not long" speech, and it just seems like, and I'm not trying to make any allusions or I'm not making an allegory to anything that's going on in politics right now. I think this just deserves to be remarked upon in its own right. It took 3 tries to complete the Selma March, right? It was Bloody Sunday, and then they tried again, and then on the 3rd time they actually got there. And to get from Selma to Montgomery, I mean, it was, I'll just a quick excerpt from what he said that day, because it gets cited again, and we don't remember the context in which he said this, and that it took 3 tries, and they did it, and they had to go through Bloody Sunday to get there. The road to get there is not altogether a smooth one. There are no broad highways that lead us easily and inevitably to quick solutions, but we must keep going. I know you are asking today, how long will it take? I come to say to you this afternoon, however difficult the moment, however frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crushed to earth will rise again. How long? Not long, because no lie can live forever. How long? Not long, because you shall reap what you sow. How long? Not long, because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. That was 45 years ago today, and it's overshadowed in some ways by what's going on in our current politics, but it's worth remembering. So.
We do have time for just a few questions. If you have one, please raise your hand and we'll acknowledge you right up here. Kim, wait for the microphone, please. Tisha, up here. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm Clinton School student Kimberly Caldwell, and I wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for your time on Martha Stewart's show. I, on election night, drank the same mix as you, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. But more importantly, I wanted to ask you, you know, I personally have a really hard time figuring out how to approach the political conversations today, because you want civility, but you also don't want to back down or feel like you aren't allowed to express your feelings. And as someone who has a platform on television, how do you see your role in the larger political conversation? And do you have any goals for your career about how you want to impact the American political conversation?
Thank you very much for that. My answer is uninspiring. I'm sorry. But I really don't think about how I fit into the larger political conversation. Because I don't really understand the larger political conversation that much. I believe in subjectivity, I believe in niche cultures, I believe in subculture, I believe in people speaking from exactly where they are and not trying to be anything who they're not trying to be the voice of authority or the voice of God. I think if you hear the voice of God, that's great, but it shouldn't be in your own head. And so so I can't speak to what else is happening in the media. And even in our great political discourse, I sort of feel like I've got this little patch of ground that I tend, and that I want to do as good a job as I can with. And I feel incredibly blessed and privileged to have the platform that I do, but I'm really only responsible for what's on my platform. And that's how I think about it. And I think that's just, for me, it's a little overwhelming to think about, well, when I say this, how will it resonate with this person, and how might it make this person act differently, and what does it mean vis-a-vis what somebody else has said? For me, it's just sort of me and the news. I just focus on what's going on in the world that day and how I can best explain it, and I try to kind of keep my head down that way.
Bob, behind you.
Thank you. Is that better?
A bug?
Hello. It was a bug, actually.
You're afraid of a bug? I just wanted you to know that I'm one of those elderly people that watch him.
Thank you.
And I'm one of your biggest fans. The first time I saw you was when Keith Olbermann that night, and I thought, oh my gosh, this girl is really good.
Thank you.
And being elderly, I have lived through, I came to Arkansas in 1947 as a teenager, and it was segregated, and I couldn't believe it, because I came from somewhere where, you know, middle of Nebraska. But I just want you to keep on keeping on. I think MSNBC and the people on there have made a big, big difference in this healthcare argument, and just keep on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sita.